There is new research being launched today into how to help war veterans who've suffered injuries that leave them badly disfigured. Not so much the physical, but the psychological damage. I'm joined on the line by Professor Diana Harcourt, who is the leader of the study and director of the Centre for Appearance Research at the University of West of England in Bristol, and by Craig Winspear, who himself was horribly injured on service duty in Afghanistan. And Craig, perhaps you can give us an idea of what happened to you.
So, I was on patrol out in Afghanistan in December 2011. My job and role was to search and deal with IEDs. Unfortunately, on that day, I was injured by an IED, leaving me with both my legs missing, bad scars to both hands, loss of fingers, loss of use, and scarring throughout my body.
It must have been staggeringly difficult to lead a normal life after that.
It was a roller coaster. It's had its ups and downs, but I suppose you adapt and overcome to any situation in life, and I suppose I'm at that point now.
But of course, it isn't just the physical thing, is it? It's more than that.
Yeah, it's the mental side of it, the mental scarring, the mental how you look, how you feel.
How do people react to you when they see you so dreadfully disfigured?
Oddly, you get a lot of people who won't actually speak to you yourself. They'll always speak to somebody about you, so they won't directly speak to you. It's as if all disabilities kind of have this same outcome: we can't speak, or we can't talk, or we don't have the mental capability, which is
almost as if you're less than human.
Yeah, true, definitely true.
And how have you managed to cope with that aspect?
I suppose now I don't notice it as much as my wife does. She notices it quite a lot, but I don't know. I think you just get on with it. At the end of the day, it's how people perceive it. You're shocked to start with, but I suppose I've got used to it over time now. I've been injured a while.
Well, you're obviously incredibly tough. And there must be many people out there who can't cope the way you're doing. Oh,
definitely. I've seen a lot of my friends, they kind of go into their little shelters and they don't go out. I'm quite an active person, so I'm out quite a lot doing different things, involving myself in a lot of activities. But there's a lot that won't, and it is for fear or of anxiousness of how people perceive them and how people see them.
And Diana Harcourt, those are the people that need help, obviously.
Yes, as we've just heard, the impact of having an appearance that's changed as a result of an injury due to a conflict can be substantial, and it can be extensive and enduring. And it's just, we've heard, some people can manage these situations and challenges very well, but there are people who are really struggling, and we need to make sure that they've got access to specialist support that can really help them through those difficult times.
It's a sort of combination of things in a way, isn't it? It's helping them, and it's trying to get the message across to us who haven't suffered in this way that we need to change our attitudes as well.
Yeah, you're right. We need to tackle things on various levels, and that's why the research that we're doing today, that's funded by the Scar Free Foundation, we're ultimately looking to develop interventions that will support people who themselves have sustained an injury, and whether that's information and advice or specialist one-to-one support with clinical psychologists, for example, or peer support through support groups. But we're also looking to provide support for the family members as well, because as we just heard, they can be affected by these issues as well. And we also need to do work to increase awareness amongst the general population in terms of how they can react and support those who are affected.
And do you find that, or have you been finding that people react differently to somebody like Craig, who's lost his legs and arm and all the rest of it, those awful injuries, and people who are facially disfigured? Is there a difference?
Well, this is why we're doing the research. This is why it's new. It's the first time that we've done a study which has involved military veterans and military personnel. Until now, the research that we've done around the the impact of having a visible difference has been with the civilian population. So we're interested in what are the experiences of military personnel who have an appearance as altered condition, and whether that is a result of burn injuries, scarring, gunshot wounds, or shrapnel scarring. And we would want to, we're going to then look to see how do those experiences and their support needs differ to those who have other traumatic injuries.
And Craig, you think this is important, obviously, that we have some sort of study?
Yes, definitely. It would have been great back when I was injured, because you do have some terrible thoughts about your scars, the vanity of it, but it's also the research that can go into the mobility of scars. There's a lot of scar admin that needs taken care of and things like that. So all research within that will help a lot of people, I imagine.
Well, our very best wishes to you, Craig Winspear, and Diana Harcourt. Thank you very much.
Thank you.